Welcome to A Walk in My Stilettos, where our goal is to help you walk in your greatness. I'm your host, Makini Smith. Hello, Faith Walkers. Thank you for taking the time to join us. The purpose of this show is to inspire you to walk in your greatness. We have conversations with amazing women that are letting us take a step into their stilettos. I get inspired when I see another woman succeeding, but as a mindset coach, what inspires me more is their backstory and their mindset of how they got there. So today's guest is about to bless us with her testimony. And since you're already here, you may as well subscribe. So today we have Trish Mathis. She's an entrepreneur. She is a personal trainer and founder of TWT Fitness. She's the owner of Elegant Tresses, distributing high quality extensions, and the owner of Kali Kloset, a fashion boutique for children. Please welcome to the show, Trish Mathis.
Hi.
Hey,
That was a
Trish.
beautiful opening. Hey.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I tell women all the time, when I'm doing your intro and your bio, that's you. That's who you are. Everyone's always so
Right.
surprised to hear how it sounds coming out of someone's mouth, but it's all you.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. It was beautiful. You described it to the T.
Awesome. So before I get started, one of the questions that I love to ask as an icebreaker question is important because we have so many titles, especially as women, so many titles that we go by, so many things that we're referred to or called, so many hats that we wear as entrepreneurs, as moms. But a title that I feel holds a lot of weight and doesn't get enough recognition is our name and the meaning behind it. So my question to you, Trish, is do you know what your name means?
Yes. My name has a very unique meaning. So when it's described, of course, behind it, the first thing that my mom thought of when she even named me, because her name is Patricia, is strong, ambitious, and talented. She would tell me all the time, you're very talented. You're able to do things that others aren't. And it stuck with me up until, I got older because I've had two older sisters that I used to look up to and admire. And they would just you would look at them as if they were just like the perfect two. But deep down, they were really shy. And I was just that one that was always outspoken. So I let my talent shine through. And it's right, like I'm very outspoken. I always say things that people would never think that I would say. Once you get to know me, of course. And I have that drive, very ambitious as well.
I love it. So let's take us back to the very beginning. What did you want to be when you were a little girl?
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a RN, a registered nurse.
Okay. Was there any particular
Yes.
reason?
Well, my best friend, her mom was a nurse and she used to work with babies. And at that time, growing up, we used to love just playing with babies, watching them babysitting. So it was just something that was just like, oh, I want to work with babies too. So when we had career day and she came and she just made her job seem like the best thing on earth, it just stuck with me. And now it's crazy because my best friend mom is still a nurse, and then she went to Tennessee, and she is a registered nurse as well.
Okay. We're going to fast forward to today. Like, how did your journey begin, helping others reach their fitness goals?
Oh, wow. Okay, so fitness came a part of my life when I had my second child. After I had my second child, I ended up going in early labor. They had to perform a cesarean because my baby's heart rate was increasing, and then they noticed that my blood pressure was going up. I had no idea why this was happening. However, once I had my baby, I began to breastfeed. And thank God, she was in NICU for a while, but she's okay. And I began to breastfeed. I ate right. I researched food that we were eating because everyone tells you eat healthy, but they never break it down to what healthy is. So if I'm eating a salad with cheese and sour cream on it and processed meat, no one's saying that it's not healthy because it's just a salad. So once I start really reading into everything that was in the salad, and start seeing how it affects the body, that's when I got into it. Like, okay, this is bad. This is not helping me. This is why my blood pressure is high. Because I had already been in the gym for 10 years, like working out. It was
Mm-hmm.
not until I changed what I was eating. And once I changed that, within 3 months, I lost 25 pounds. And it wasn't just 25 pounds. I lost a lot of fat where I gained
Mm-hmm.
muscle and I looked completely different. And to the people that had known me for so long, they saw the difference. And so many people were so interested in, how did you do this? What did you do to obtain this goal? And I shared my journey with a lot of my friends, old classmates that I went to school with. And from there, I did take up the lead of being a trainer, but it wasn't until I got three girls that wanted to really train and that was dedicated, and we formed a group chat, and we got together. We worked out. I gave them like the meals of everything that I was doing, the detoxes, everything. And after 3 months, they really lost, and also they lost weight and gained muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, they sent me referrals, and it grew from there.
Wow.
So it's gotten big ever since then. Because the reason why I even started with the three girls, to be honest, is because I didn't want to go out and say, hey, I'm a trainer, just because I did it for myself. I wanted to
Right.
see if what I did would work for others. And once I
Right.
saw that it did, my business just grew from there.
I think it's beautiful that basically the formula of what you did is what many of us need to do without even realizing it, because you needed to make the change in you first. And that
Right.
changed
Hmm.
your entire life, and that changed how you made an impact in this world.
Right. Absolutely. Yes,
Okay, so
ma'am.
that was the beginning of TWT Fitness.
Yes, ma'am. That was the very beginning, January 8th, 2018. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Very beginning. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what does TWT stand for?
It stands for Train with Trish.
Okay, okay. Your whole journey of becoming healthier for you and starting to make that impact in the lives of people around you. Share with the audience what you shared with me when we spoke about how you were able to use that to walk away from your 9 to 5.
So that's where it gets interesting. So in January, when I began to train, I didn't mention that I was literally training these girls for free. And I didn't have a problem with that. I want everyone to know you have to sacrifice some things when you're starting a business.
Mm-hmm.
But with training them and getting their results and getting them to where they wanted to be, where they were happy, it brought on a lot of clientele. When the clientele picked up, then the money just follows, of course. But my goal was never about the money. It was always to actually get people in that comfort zone where they're happy with their weight. And it's a mental thing as well, where they're happy with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And once it was bigger than just weight loss. It became a sisterhood. I had people from all over in the area, neighborhood, coming and training. And I was working and just doing it part time. And a tragic accident happened where my father had lost his mother. And, I had to take bereavement, and I took time off. And when I took the time off, I got more clientele where people were reaching out asking, can I come in for a session? And it was during the daytime when I normally worked. And it was just crazy that it happened that way, because I was off for bereavement, not for work. But when
Mm-hmm.
it picked up like that, I took the offer. I'm like, okay, well, I'll meet you. And I would do a session for free the very first time, and then I'll let them decide if it's something they want to continue with. And it was three girls. I remember three girls that week that came into the gym and decided to pick up one-on-one training, and they
Mm.
wanted it during the daytime. So I thought about it and I prayed on it. That's one thing I'm big on. I prayed on it and I prayed about it, and I went to sleep and I woke up and I was like, okay, let me do the math. Let me do the calculation. How much it is that I'm making with training full time versus me having a full time job. And to be honest with you, the training just outweighed the job. And then I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, well, let me not just look at the money. Let me look at my well being. And I still went back to work after the bereavement, and I just noticed my heart wasn't there anymore. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't give the customer my all, because I was too focused on, oh, this is what I'm gonna do when I get to the gym. Like my
Mm-hmm.
mind
Mm-hmm.
was somewhere totally else. and I couldn't change it. No matter what I did, I just couldn't change that. So I woke up one morning, it was just on my heart to just let it go. After I had already did the math for the income of how much I was bringing in and my happiness as far as my well-being, knowing that that was number one, and I just decided to resign. And I resigned May 9th of 2018, and I'm still full-time training. I have not went back to corporate America.
I love it. I love it. So I love how you continue to mention that money wasn't your focus.
Right,
It wasn't the goal. You focused on the why you were doing it, and you were passionate
right,
about it. And I definitely
right.
believe God has an interesting sense of humor. So although you were
Mhm.
off work, for bereavement, he showed you during that time how to
Yeah,
take something that you're passionate about to gain peace from that.
exactly. Exactly. It was a hard moment for the family, but the fact that, God intervened and said, "Hey, I'm gonna help you use this time not to dwell on the past, but to focus on what I have for you in the future."
Mm,
And when the opportunity presented itself, I found so much happiness going to the gym and helping people, because we're not in the gym for our training. We're in the gym for our talking as well. So I'm getting to
right.
know my clients and figure out what's wrong with them, why they're having issues. Because if you're not healthy, you're not happy.
Yes.
And so it's deeper than that. And I found so much happiness in that, and it helped me. Like when you're preaching to others, a lot of times you're preaching to yourself too.
Mhm.
So that began to be my happy place. It's something I just started to love, and I still to this day I do it full time.
I love it. So, you said you had to think about not dwelling on the past and focusing on the future. And
Yes.
coincidentally, when my sister passed away, that was a time where I had to learn the same lesson, not dwell on the past, but to focus on the future. Because the past is gone. You can't change that. You can
Right.
change your behavior and your actions today to have a better tomorrow, but you can't go back and change the past. So, would you say that your pain has birthed your passion?
Yes, and first let me just touch bases on the fact of you losing your sister, because I know that was very hard. So I do send my condolences to you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry to hear that. You're
Thank you.
welcome. Yes, my past has really molded me to who I am now, because a lot of things I'm gonna just say this. I didn't grow up knowing my real father. So the guy that I'm mentioning as my father is not my biological father. So
Mhm.
when you grow up and you get rejected from different people, the rejection of your own father or anyone, it just brings you a lot of pain and hurt.
Right.
And us as women, we carry stress and depression on us, and it makes us heavy. It makes us overweight.
Mhm.
So once I decided to let it go and accept what was my now, which is what I'm happy with doing, and I see a different person, it has definitely made me, that pain and everything I went through, it has made me who I am now.
You
And
know,
every time we just try, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off,
no,
but
no, go ahead.
every time we try to sit and dwell on anything, I feel like it's God reminding us, hey, I know that this is unfortunate, but this is what I need you to do. And I
Mhm.
need you to do it, and know that these people are watching you and want to see you succeed. And that's the drive right there.
I want to touch on your, how do you say this? How you choose to deal with not knowing your father. There's a lot of people that will hold on to the rejection and hold on to those things. And like you said, we as women carry stress differently. But as people, when we are stressed out and what's going on mentally, we don't realize how much that affects us physically. Like
Right.
the word disease, it's your body in dis-ease. When you're
Yes.
stressed out, you have anxiety and depression, and your body feels that. And that's when you
Yes.
start to take on all these illnesses and all this sickness. So you being out here trying to like making that effort to heal people physically, and while you're in the gym physically helping them heal, speaking with them, ministering to them so that they're healing subconsciously, mentally, like emotionally in other ways. I don't even think you realize the impact that you're having with people, with what you're doing, with what you've been called to do.
Right. And that's another thing too. I have a cousin that was always big on, you need to talk to younger girls, or you need to, get in their head and help them because I feel like you're strong. And a lot of times people don't know that, the outside, it shows that I'm strong, but you don't know mentally what I deal with and battle with. But the fact that I have gotten over so much, I do try to minister and preach to people all the time and let them know that, hey, that wasn't to hurt you. What you're going through, that divorce, that relationship, that breakup wasn't to hurt you. It's to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And I
No.
believe that every time I go through anything, I just believe it's just something to help me. I always try to see the bigger picture and not play the victim, because a lot of times we hurt ourselves by always saying, well, why is this happening to me? Well, why am I the only one experiencing this? And that's because we're looking at the picture the wrong way.
Exactly. And here's the thing. When people ask, why is this happening to me? If they ask that, why is this happening to me in a different perception, because, they're looking at it negatively as the victim. Oh my God, why is this happening to me? Versus, okay, God, why is this happening? What am I supposed to learn from this?
Yep.
How am I supposed to be able to help others from this? How can I
Yes,
serve?
that's
What
so
you know what I
true.
mean? So
Yes.
it's the same question. It's just being asked differently.
That's so true. I tell people all the time when things, because people think when you minister and preach to others that everything is going right for you. No, I just know how to get through hard times. I know that
Mm-hmm.
when stuff is going wrong, it's time for me to be still. It's time for
Mm-hmm.
me to listen and try to see, where am I going wrong? What have I done wrong? Have I done wrong about people? Have I done wrong? So it's not about us being punished. It's all about us learning and
Yes.
getting and being able to point out our wrongdoing and not others.
Yeah. So we're being sharpened.
Yeah.
How has this whole experience transitioning helped you view life going forward? Has this changed anything?
Yes, it has been very life changing. I have two kids. So the biggest thing to me with them is the fact that I make my own schedule. And being that I
Mm-hmm.
make my own schedule, if I'm called to mom duty, or if I have to be there to support my daughter while she's in ballet, she's 3, or my son and he's in basketball, he's 10, I can be there. Or
Yes.
even if, anything happens, I can be there. And that was one of the biggest things that really hindered me having a job where I was working for someone. No matter how much the company say they appreciate you and they adore you, when it comes time for you to be a parent and that company is not allowing you to do that, that's a problem. And I
Yes.
didn't want that for my children. I didn't want to be that parent that's never there to support their kids, or I don't believe in just working to get a dollar. I believe in doing what makes you happy,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that, being there for my kids is important. So it's changed my life a lot. And I'm not even speaking of financially, because when you're following your passion and your dream, the money comes. You don't even have
Mm-hmm.
to worry about it.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember when I was in my 20s and I was working a 9 to 5. I was one of their top employees. My first child, my daughter, she was fairly young. And I was on the verge of being a single mom. Her dad and I had broken up and got back together. And she was very sickly. And the daycare had called one day saying that I need to come and pick her up. And I went to the manager and I said, I have to leave. I have to go pick up my daughter from daycare. And she looked at me, this woman who had no children, and said to me, can't somebody else pick her up? Like, I need you for this
Yeah.
shift. And I looked
Right.
her dead in the eye and I said, my child comes first. My child is
Yes.
my priority. I don't live to work. I work to live. And back then, I ended up quitting that job. But when I became an entrepreneur, just around the age of 30, I was like, okay, how can I make this life so that I can still be there for everything that I need to be for my children? I want to be a full-time mom. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship is, for me, it's been where I've been able to schedule everything that I do around my children, around their
Yes.
appointments. I got to
Yes.
take the whole day off yesterday and spend the day with my daughter in Niagara Falls
Yes.
for her birthday because I can. I can
That's
schedule my appointments
beautiful.
the way that I want to without anybody telling me yes or no.
Yes. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And that's a good thing. That's actually great. And that's what people have to realize: when you have children, they come first.
Hmm.
They do. So my scheduling is all based around theirs. If I have to bring them to school, I have to pick them up. So I schedule my appointments outside of what I have to do for them. And then also time off of work with them to spend.
Hmm.
So that's
I
a
love it.
great thing. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, that happened to me a few times. And you have a lot of supervisors that really care, but you also have someone over that supervisor. So I had a
Right.
supervisor that was very understanding. She used to let me leave early from work to make sure that I got to the daycare before it closed. But then when management gets involved and they're like, hey, we're noticing this person leaving before their shift, there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing at that point that the supervisor can do but enforce that you have to stay. And who's going to pick up my child? I'm
Mm-hmm.
the only one that could pick her up. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand, oh, it's just you. And I remember one time,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember one time, I'm going to be honest with you, this was, and I feel bad that this happened, but I know a lot of people that's going to listen to this is going to remember. One of my close friends had an issue with her daughter getting her to and from daycare and then making it to work. And the manager gave her a card, and I think that the card was life change or something like that. It was something like that, but it was basically a hotline that you call for help. But she didn't need help; she just needed that time to pick up and take her
Mm-hmm.
child. And it was so sad and unfortunate that you have someone up in higher management that would just basically treat you like, here, figure it out.
Right.
It's
People don't
sad.
understand unless they're
In your shoes.
in your shoes.
Mhm.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
people can look at your situation and have all kinds of thoughts and opinions about it, but unless they're in your shoes, they have
They
no
won't
idea.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So what
That is so
inspires you the
true.
most about what you do?
What inspires me the most about what I do is seeing people change. People don't understand that their testimonials that they send me every day means everything to me. I have
Mhm.
clients that will literally text me and be like, "Oh my God, I went to the doctor and my doctor said that I no longer have to take my blood pressure medicine."
Mm.
Or,
Mhm.
I can fit in these pants that I bought and I haven't been able to fit in them 2 years or so. Like those testimonials, those life changing things mean a lot because at this point, this person isn't thinking, oh, I did it. They're thinking, oh my God, she helped me to reach this goal that I've been
Mhm.
trying to reach on my own for so long. So to know that you can actually step in your purpose and help others and it's not about you,
Mhm.
that makes me feel really good. And then it makes me feel good because it's not about me. Like I
Yes.
live for those messages. So yes, that's what's
I
important to me, helping others.
I love it. I love it. I mean, yourself, some of the other women that I've had on the show, myself, it's like when you are walking in your purpose and you, like you said, you're changing somebody's life. Even the smallest message that they send you to say how
Mhm.
you made that impact for them, like that is you spreading light into this world. That is, the reflection to me, it's a reflection of God on your life. You being able
Yes.
to help others and shine that light. It's an indescribable feeling. Like you said, it's not
Yes.
about you. I get
Mhm.
very emotional when someone says to me, "Oh my God, you helped me get through this situation." Or, when I
Right.
was going through chemo, it was your words that I read, was reading to get through. Or when I was like, those
Wow.
things make me so emotional. Like I don't care
Yeah.
about the awards and the accolades. It's
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
impact that you have on people's lives. Those are the things that you're going to remember
Yeah.
at the end of time. Like those things are so beautiful.
Yeah. That's true. That's a great thing. That's big. When people are struggling with things like that, self-esteem and mental health is real.
Mhm.
So when people change all of that and they acknowledge you in the process of them getting through it and past it, that's big.
Mhm.
So kudos to you as well. That's a
Thank
big
you.
thing.
Thank you.
And even with you sharing everyone's story, that's a big thing because you don't really know what other people are going through. You don't, sometimes you don't,
Exactly.
but for you to use your platform to put other people's business out there, that's a blessing. You're doing good
Thank
things.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
When I first decided to start a podcast, because for me, I love to help women to own their stories, conquer their fears so they can reach their goals. But it's a huge deal when you hear somebody's story and you realize, yeah, I can resonate with that. But when
Mhm.
you can hear, a lesson from somebody a million times and not be affected by it. But you hear somebody tell their personal testimony and you're like, oh my God, and it changes your life.
Wow. Yeah, it does. It really
like
does.
as women we connect through our stories, and there's so much that we can relate to, but there's so many women out here that are sharing their success stories, but you don't ever know,
Mhm.
like, what did they actually have to go through to get there? You don't
Right.
know their struggles. You just
Right.
see the
Exactly.
glory stories. You just see,
Yes.
and people
Mhm.
are like, oh wow, I can't
Exactly.
do that. She doesn't know what I'm going through, but I
Ex-
had to do this, that, and the third.
yeah.
And it's like, no, I want you to hear these women's stories. Yes, they have success stories, but they had to walk a serious walk. They had to
Yes.
conquer so many things. They had so many adversities, but they still stuck through, and they're
Yeah.
not playing the victim. They are the victor. They are the winners in their story. They are the
That's
star of
true.
their movie. You can do it too.
That's true. That's very true. You're listening to someone living in their testimony. I
Hmm.
literally had to go in a month early than my due date. And after I had my baby, I couldn't even hold her, Like
Wow.
that's how bad my health was. I couldn't hold her because my blood pressure was so high. Everyone was scared because nothing that they was giving me was working. And it was
Hmm.
getting to a point where I was gonna have to get a blood transfusion. And my
Wow.
poor baby was just in the NICU. No one could be in there. And I didn't even know what was wrong. She was 4 pounds. And I was just like, my mind was
Wow.
everywhere. It was hard, and the fact that you see, if you were to see her now, which is the reason why I have the whole Kali Closet, you're
Hmm.
like, that baby was not premature. But it's just amazing what God can do. I got healthy so I can breastfeed her and help her. And she's beautiful. She's 3. She's 43 pounds, and I still can't believe it either. But
Wow.
it's a
Amen.
blessing
Amen.
because, it was hard.
So okay, so what inspired the boutique Kali Closet? So you just mentioned that. So what's the backstory behind what inspired that?
My baby is 3. She'll be 4 in November. And I don't know. I know you have kids, but this little girl, she would literally, starting at the age of 2, as soon as we get home from school, she'll take her clothes off, go in her closet, and she'll throw everything around until she finds what she wants.
Hmm.
And every day it was a creative outfit. I mean, long socks with a leotard and a skirt, or stockings with just unique outfits. And I'm like, I would just take pictures and send it to my mom all the time. Like, look at what she got on today. To the point where even in the morning time, she would cry to wear certain things to school. So her uniform would never be just uniform. It will always have to be something extra, whether it was a headband or some sparkly shoes. It was just extra. And yeah, I got so inspired by her just being so unique that I came up with this children boutique, because every time anyone would see her at school, they'd be like, "Oh my God, where did you get that from?" Or, "I love that." And it could be just a simple item you pick up, but the fact that she would match it and put it together with her own style is what got people attention. So I
Hmm.
say, you know what? I'm gonna turn this little baby into a young entrepreneur, and I
Yes.
literally, let her pick out what she want, dress it up, and I started a boutique just off of the things that she liked, and it has grabbed so many parents' attention. And now I call it Kali Closet because her name is Kali, and
Beautiful. I love
everything.
it.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
love it. I love it. So what I love is you are embracing your daughter's creativity and her imagination. People
Yes, ma'am.
underestimate the inspiration that we
Right.
can get
Mhm.
from children, because here's the thing. As people, we're created in God's image. We were created to create. With children,
Right.
they don't
Mhm.
have any boundaries on their creativity. You know what I mean? As
Correct.
you start to get older and people start to ridicule you, or try and get you checked and put you in line and tell you what you can and cannot do, and you start to allow them to limit your creativity, with other people's
So
opinions.
true.
But
Yes.
children, they don't care. You know what
No
I mean? When it
limitations.
comes to saying what they want to say, doing what they want to do, wearing what they want to wear, it's beautiful that you've been inspired by your daughter's creativity to open this boutique. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's no problem. So usually, as women, especially, whenever we decide to go after our dreams and to pursue our passions, there's always adversities that we have to experience, whether it be people that don't believe in our dreams, things that happen. Can you think of any adversities that you've had to experience to get to where you are today?
Absolutely. Oh, it came from my family, and I want them to hear this too. I'm gonna make sure they hear it. When I quit my job, I really went a while before telling anyone. It wasn't until people started noticing I wasn't going to work that I quit. So
Hmm.
I had so many naysayers. Oh, if anything went wrong, like let's just say my tire went flat. Oh, well, if you didn't quit your job, you wouldn't have this problem.
Oh,
And you're like,
goodness.
whoa, you know. So I had so many people saying, like, why would you quit your job? Why would you do that? And you just left some for sure money. Everyone calls a job guaranteed money or a
It's
guaranteed
not.
check. And it used to bother me so much to the point where if I did experience difficulties, which I did, and everyone will, I was silent about them. I was able to overcome them, and I did what was necessary to get by, get by.
Hmm.
And that's one thing that just bothered me. And a lot of people have to realize when you're stepping into your what it is you're supposed to do, you're going to have a lot of people that doubt you. You're going to have a lot of
Hmm.
people that just don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, but it's not for them. When I
Right.
start thinking about me and considering me, I tuned out my own family of them saying that I needed a job and
Hmm.
I have kids and you need, just
Yeah.
all kind of things. And it worked out for my good. And to this day, I'm still amazed that I've made it a year and a half without working for anyone and only myself.
See, and
So
and you're just at the beginning.
just the
Because
beginning, very beginning.
you're just at the beginning. Like,
But it's
but I think it's
still
beautiful that you've been
surprising.
able to silence them through action. That's beautiful because
Yes.
usually that's what it takes, right? Because people don't believe a thing until they actually
At
see a thing,
all.
right? They don't believe that something is
Right.
possible. And sometimes we call them naysayers, yes, and it's usually, like you said, family and friends. And sometimes it's
Mhm.
not necessarily out of negativity or that they believe that you can't do it. It's that they don't believe that it's possible for them. So how could you be able
Exactly.
to do it,
How
right?
can you do it?
But
Right.
until
Mhm.
you prove them and you show them with your actions and you show them with your success what you are able to do, that silences them. You don't even have to
Yes,
say
it does.
anything or address them when they're being negative most of the time. It's your actions, right?
Yes, so true. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
That's so correct. I don't argue with them. I don't sit
mhm.
and say, "Oh, you're wrong for saying that." I just show them by always being dedicated to what I'm doing and always coming up with new ideas and creativity that allows
Yes.
me to continue to stay on top. So that was a big thing that I dealt with because sometimes you will think when you hit a hard rock, maybe I should go get a job or
Mhm.
even a part-time job. But
Mhm.
that's not what it means. It just means to work hard and keep pushing and let those words of people saying that, oh, that's not going to last. You're going to have to go back to work.
Yes.
That was my motivation.
See, I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years now. And I remember when I first became an entrepreneur, I was coming from being a stay-at-home mom for almost 5 years. And
Oh,
people
wow.
people are like, "Okay, so you filed for a divorce and you're going to become an entrepreneur and you have 3 kids, a mortgage and a car payment and a dog to pay for? Are
Right.
you crazy?"
Hmm.
Everyone's like, "You need to get a job. You need a
Yes.
biweekly paycheck. Are you nuts?" Everyone had
Yes. Yes.
something to say until they
Yes,
started
ma'am.
seeing the success of what I was doing, until I started getting recognized and awards
Right.
by media. It's like you just have to prove them wrong. Just because
Right.
the vision wasn't given to them doesn't mean that you can't carry it through.
Exactly. That's so true. Congratulations and kudos to you because 3 kids and a mortgage and a car note, that's exactly. It's like we're so similar. The only difference is I have two. So
Mhm.
I used to think all the time, like, oh my gosh, my rent is so high, this car note, the maintenance. But
Mhm.
I just knew that if I prayed for this job, in which I did, and God gave it to me, there's no reason why I can't pray for the success of my own business and
That's
God gonna
right.
bless me through it.
That's right.
So yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Congratulations and kudos to you. That's big.
Likewise, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So, have you
Thank
had
you.
any coaches or mentors that have helped you along the way?
So many, yes. My first one was Michael Rackpole. Um, Working next to him was just a pleasure. He taught me so much about training clients, and he owns his own gym, and that was big to me. So I learned as much as I could before he left and moved to Dallas.
Mhm.
Then I met another guy named Tony Jones, and he is awesome. He owns his own gym as well. Great mentor. So much knowledge, so much experience. and he always calls me young and still fresh, meaning I'm still learning. But he literally gives me so much knowledge, and I just hope that he knows that I'm applying it. And one day, I hope to be where he is, where owning my own gym. But as of now, those two have been my biggest mentors. I met a lot of coaches along the way, a lot of females, a lot of males, and we've all helped each other. But these two guys really stood out to me the most because they're so knowledgeable about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've learned from them, and them owning their own gym and telling you, you don't have a lot of people that will literally give you help or advice. Everyone is really at a process where, oh, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to pay me this. And that's not a problem. But to know that these men are genuinely giving you knowledge and trying to help you and want to see you succeed, that's the biggest blessing that I could ever, be proud of since I've been in the business.
Mm-hmm. And it's important that you're taking advice from people that are in a position that you want to be in. Sometimes
Right.
people are looking for advice and they go to family members or friends that haven't done anything with their life
Right.
and wonder when they
Exactly.
take their
Why
advice,
it's
why
not
things go
working.
wrong. But you've been
Yep.
smart enough to take advice and get counsel from people who are succeeding, especially even in the industry that you're in. I think
Right.
that's awesome. I love it.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
You're out here giving of yourself, pouring into people, personal training and ministering to them, and being an entrepreneur, being a mom. How does Trish take care of Trish? Like, what's your self-care routine?
Okay. And this is something I've been doing so long and that I continue to have to do. When it comes to self-care, in the morning, I wake up. The first thing I do, I meditate and I pray. Before I ask for anything, I always give thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like that's necessary. I can't ask for anything without giving thanks. So
that's right.
And then after I give thanks, I do pray. I set a schedule to what it is I need to do, and then I pray over it. Pray that God bless me to get through the day, and pray that God helps me to accomplish the goals that I've set. And after that, after praying and meditating, that's my me time. I let the kids sleep. I don't bother them. They don't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I pray and meditate in the morning. And then at night, I'll do the same thing. But the only difference at night is, at this point, I'm giving thanks again for everything that I've got. Everything that has happened through the day, all the things I did get accomplished. And I will also pray for forgiveness. And then I just pray over everything that I'm grateful for, the health of my children, my own health, our home, our well-being, things that people take for granted.
Yes.
And after that, I do set aside on Sundays, which is the Sabbath day, to really relax. And I'll spend time with the kids, or I'll just let them do them. Mm-hmm. They can go outside and play, or they can have the entire living room to make a mess. And then I just sit in my room. I'm also in school, so I'll cut out everything, school, work, and I'll watch movies, and I'll just take time to myself and rest. So that's the me time that I get. And then probably once a year, I'll take a girls trip.
Mm-hmm.
and that's really the time where you really just get to say, hey, I'm not even a mom. I'm nobody at this point. I'm out of town. Nobody know who
I'm
I
doing
am.
me.
Yes, exactly. So I say once out of the year, I do that because I feel it's necessary and it's needed.
Mm-hmm. So
yes,
I
ma'am.
love that when you pray, that first and foremost you show appreciation and gratitude for what you currently have. And I think some people miss that point. Some people when they pray, they're asking for things. They're coming, like, how would you feel if every time somebody had a conversation with you, the first thing they did is ask you for something, right? So it's widely underestimated the power of gratitude, not just to God for everything that we have, but just the people around us.
Yes.
And the fact that you show gratitude in the morning and at night, that, it's become a habit where it's more than just once a day, because we have so much to be grateful for. Just saying that we're grateful for something at one point in the day isn't enough.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
not
I
enough
love
at
it.
all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep. You just really have to reflect on the good. And, God reminds us a lot of times you can be complaining about something, and then God, hey, he steps in and intervenes. Like, you're complaining about this, but look at this person. You're complaining that you have to spend your last $20 on gas, but you got somebody that's walking with a baby on their hip and it's 90 degrees outside.
Right.
So, he always knows how to send us a reminder. And ever since then, I just give thanks all the time. Gratitude is number one.
Amen. Amen. Just as you say that, I think about when I'm out here being of service to other people, it's a constant reminder to be grateful. Like, I mean, my
Right.
my mentor was the one that got me onto practicing gratitude daily with his gratitude practices, which inspired my third book, which is a gratitude journal. But when you look at your life and you want to complain about something, you want to be upset about something, and multiple times a day you're speaking to women who are confiding in you about their struggles and their adversities, and it's 10 times worse than yours, and your goal is to help them get out of that issue. Your goal is to help them to find a solution, and you realize, wow, things aren't as bad for me as I thought it would be. So being
Yeah.
able to help others just improve the quality of their lives, it helps as a daily reminder to be
Yes,
grateful and to
ma'am.
have gratitude.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there's an article that I came across that I love to mention in every single show because it seems to be on point so far. But it basically says that your favorite shoe says a lot about your personality. Trish, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite shoe? Is it a boot, a running shoe, a walking shoe, a flat, a flip-flop, a pump, a wedge, a mule, a loafer? What's your favorite type of shoe?
My favorite shoe is a running shoe.
Okay.
Yeah, I love my heels, don't get me wrong, but I'm comfortable. I'm at my best when I'm in running shoes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's see. Running shoe fans are goal oriented. If you are someone who enjoys fitness challenges, takes your New Year's resolutions to heart, and has been known to go the extra mile with a label maker, you bet you prefer running shoes. This is someone who's very confident, very goal oriented, and very organized. They usually illustrate the idea of multitasking, taking care of everything, and being everywhere. I always think of moms when I picture running shoes. Does that sound
that
like you?
that's me. That's all the way me.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, ma'am. That's me.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I want you to tell the people where they can stay connected with you online.
My Instagram, my main page is Forever Trish, FOREVERTRISH. My boutique is Kali Kloset, KALIKLOSET. And then my fitness is TWT Fitness. That's TWT.fitness on Instagram. And those names are also on Facebook as well.
Love it. Love it. So what I will do is I will have the link in the details so they can connect to you directly so they don't have to search too far. And for the final segment of the show, a walk in wisdom. Okay, so I'm going to ask you one or two quick reflection questions and you just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
So let's go with name a book that has changed or greatly impacted your life.
Okay. It's not really reading, but when I first went through my transformation, I picked up the 10-Day Green Smoothie book.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the book that had took me to my weight loss jump start where I lost a total of 15 pounds.
Awesome.
So JJ really lives up to everything that she tells you to do in that book. It really works. So yeah,
Love it.
that's the first one.
Okay, okay. For the interest of time, I'm just going to pick one more because I don't know how we reached our 45 minutes already, but
Okay.
let's see. If you could have a gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say and why?
It would say, I would want it to say, do what makes you happy
Mm,
and tune out others.
love it.
Because that's what I'm teaching my kids.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank
Trish,
you.
I want to thank you for taking the time to join us and sharing all of your gems with us. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. I really appreciate you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And to our audience, until next time, subscribe to our newsletter at awalkinmystilettos.com. And if you received value from today's show, share it with a friend that needs to hear Trish's message. Share her testimony. And be sure to screenshot this week's episode and tag us on Instagram. Tag Trish. You want to say your handle one more time?
Forever Trish, FOREVERTRISH. In the bio, it will link all of my fitness, boutique, and hair page.
Perfect. And tag myself at The Real McKinney Smith. Send us your guest suggestions at info@awalkinmystilettos.com. So to all my faith walkers out there, continue to walk in greatness in your stilettos in a manner worthy of your calling.